Good day, my esteemed viewers. This is MD Media Affairs, and we are furthering our discussion on Niger crisis. We understand that information reaching us indicates that the military juntas has asked ECOWAS, in fact, indeed the world and all concerned, to give them 3 years to organize another transition to civil rule. Mr. Chinedu Michael, could this mean that these people are power hungry, or do you think ECOWAS will have that patience to allow them to stay for 3 years?
This is a transition process. Good day, good afternoon, viewers. What I'm saying here is a transition process. The United Nations delegate to West Africa is already in Niger as I'm talking to you now. Immediately after their pronouncement, to discuss the modalities on how to reach out to other stakeholders within the country to have a proper view and negotiation and plan on how to transit power to civilian rule. And that notwithstanding, the 3 years transition plan is a plan. A lot of things is wrong in that part of the world, in that country, and a lot of things need to be put in place. That is the angle I'm seeing it. But I do not know whether General Tiani have ulterior motive, so to say. But whatever it is the good development to even hear from him that there's already plans to return to civil rule. So it's a good development, and that has attracted UN personnel in charge of West Africa, you understand, to visit Niger as I'm talking to you now.
But don't you think this is another strategy to stay put in power?
Well, until we get to that point, that's when we begin to.
We're already at that point.
No. What I'm saying is that what I'm saying is that it's transition. It requires time. A lot of things is wrong in that country. A lot of things has gone wrong. There should be proper consultation. There should be proper dialogue, within the people of Niger, so that at the end of the day, they don't just throw up corrupt politicians again who are going to bastardize maybe the effort they are trying to put in place to see that things are working the way it's supposed to, in Niger. That's the angle I'm looking at it.
But let me remind you that the position of ECOWAS is that Bazoum, the ousted democratically elected president, should be restored. The position of the military juntas, is it not a variant with the position of ECOWAS? You think ECOWAS will have that patience to wait for 3 years?
When they are talking about military and ECOWAS, Niger is a very difficult terrain to operate military-wise. You understand? And I learned that about 11 out of the 11 states, ECOWAS states, 11 has already prepared for a possible invasion, waiting for the orders to come anyway. But inside that 11, there are speculations that certain interests are also lobbying some of those states, to back down. Especially there are some powerful northerners who are talking to some states to actually not be part or find a way to make look as if it's working. At the end of the day, they will end up sabotaging.
But this is beyond Africa. This is beyond Nigeria.
No, that's what I'm saying. That Nigeria has a major role to play, because by virtue of the present situation now, as in ECOWAS leadership, it happens that Tinubu is there as the ECOWAS president and chairman, or so to say, and he's there to drive whatever policy or agenda or plan ECOWAS are having in that regard. So that notwithstanding, but what I'm saying is this: at the end of the day, we are still going to return to dialogue. So what the general himself, General Tiani, is saying that they toppled um, uh, uh, the president.
Continue.
So what the man there is saying is that the toppled president, that is Bazoum, who had a private section with ECOWAS delegate led by Abu Salami, our own Abu Salami,
Abubakar.
Abubakar, he has stated his own side of the story, and the General Tiani also have stated his own side of the story. So, but from the look of things, it appears that President Bazoum have accepted his fate, not to have his leg, again in the military process, in the civilian process, in the democratic process of that country. Looking at the way things are now. So it is a good development as I'm talking to you now, that at the end of the day, it's a cheering news, and there's no, the cheering news is that there is plan to move from, from the military this thing, leadership to a civilian role. So
But the issue is this, Mr. Chinedu. It's not an experience that is strange to us in Nigeria. We witnessed the era of a military junta of the Maradona himself, IBB. We witnessed the era of Abacha. So they always come with the strategy of, we are organizing transition to civil rule. Give us 2 years, 3 years, and after the 2 years or 3 years, they will come up with another excuse. Perhaps the people are not ready. And are we likely going to see a similar thing in Niger?
I don't think that we are going to see a similar thing. That is the truth, because the life of Nigerians are at stake now. The deal they have entered with some countries who are also having sympathy for Niger will be at stake. A lot of things will definitely be at stake. A lot of things will go wrong. The Niger might continue to experience darkness in that regard because of electricity that Nigeria have already cut off from them. Not only that, food supply and other things they might find it difficult. So it will create uncertainty within the country itself. So General Tiani would not want such thing to happen.
You speak so much about General Tiani as if you have implicit confidence in his approach. Is it somebody you have followed over the years?
Over time, I have been following what is going on in Niger. When the issue of Buhari, what caught my attention was when Buhari started talking about Niger, that possibly he's going to relocate to Niger. It actually caught my interest, and I decided to do one or two things about Niger, and I discovered there are certain things that might not be in the public domain that is going on there. You understand? But I wasn't surprised, because I know that Bazoum actually soiled his hand in so many ways, in terms of trying to be part of certain deals and negotiate certain things, and that's not directly beneficial to the people of Niger. So, but I don't know him. I've not met General Tiani before, but I look at him as somebody who came, to rescue his own people, and to move things from the stage that is very unpalatable as it is to where it will be a bit palatable for the people of Niger to actually. Why is it that Africa is always backward?
There's somebody who tell you that 6 months, 8 months, as the case may be, is enough to organize transition to civil rule.
You look at Nigeria, after 8 years, was Buhari able to solve any Nigerian problem?
But, Mr. Chinedu, these guys look as if they're power hungry. Don't you think so?
Sit down and look at them.
They look as if they're power hungry.
In less than a month, they came into power. They appointed a prime minister, a young expert, an economist, a renowned sound financial expert.
Some people tell you because they want to convince the world that they mean well for the country.
It's not a matter of convincing the world. They are talking about the life of their own people that has been taken to the gutters over the years.
But let me take you back to the role of military globally, conventionally. That their role in any constitutional democracy is to defend the country against external aggression. and they don't know much about administration and they don't have that acumen. Now they are diving into that arena. Do they hope to go back to school to acquire those knowledge? I mean, the military juntas themselves.
That is just the part of what the constitutional requirement of the military. You know, if you look at it holistically, you find out that, you know, the military can intervene anytime, any day. You know, and in that intervention, there are certain things they would have seen, you know, that would have bring deep and devastating insecurity in the country. Without their intervention, you know, things will just be very, very. I know that the UN, former UN, this thing has come out to say it's out of action. I know
Now,
that.
Mr. Chinedu, in the event that ECOWAS is not able to exercise patience and they invade Niger, do you blame the military juntas for that invasion?
I will not blame them. Let me tell you the reason why I will not blame them. Go and look at the companies that are in France. Look at the banking sector, the banking administration. Most of these things has to come from France. I'm telling you.
And as we speak, they are unconfirmed.
And it's not unconfirmed report. Go there and ask anybody from Niger whether they have uranium plant in Niger.
No. I was trying to speak to another issue.
Okay.
There are unconfirmed reports that
the
Nigerian military are building forces across the areas, states where we border with Niger, possibly for a possible military invasion. And if that happens, the life that will be wasted, considering the fact experience from Russia, Ukraine, don't you think it would have been better managed if the military juntas themselves are reasonable enough to accept to quit power?
They have accepted to quit power. What is? They say they are working towards that. Are you expecting them to just 1 week, less than 1 week, or less than 1 month to hand over? No, it doesn't work like that. They've already come out with a plan. Say, give us, okay, even if they say that the timing is, it still calls for dialogue. But I'm saying that for them to have that kind of mindset to say that we are moving from this present and we're transiting to civilian rule, they should be celebrated.
Okay, now we are saying 3 years is too much because they didn't contest election, they didn't win election. So if you allow somebody to stay in government for 3 years and there is no guarantee that after the 3 years he will say I'm doing the organizing the transition to civil rule, is it not proper ECOWAS should extract reasonable commitment from them and say, instead of that 3 years, let us make it 1 year and 6 months?
That's what I'm saying, that on the process of agreement, negotiation, and proper dialogue in that context, things will be defined properly by major stakeholders who are going to play part in that negotiation and dialogue. And these things will be outlined very well. Then if you get to that point and something we are not able to do as they said, then they should be held responsible. But for you to say that 3 years is much, how many years did Buhari spend in 8 good years? Nothing to write home about.
No, Mr. Chinedu.
Even under civilian rule, nothing to write home about. Yet somebody is telling you that I'm moving from where I am now, that in the next 3 years I'll hand over power. You are saying it's too much.
Mr. Chinedu,
For me, it's not too much.
Let's look at it from this angle. It seems as if Niger is prepared for war. The reason is not far-fetched. We understand that Burkina Faso, Mali already sent their private military jets, fighter jets, to possibly aid them. And we are taking note of the military strength of Nigeria, about 230,000 active men, combat ready. We are taking note of Mali itself, with about 21,000 military strength. We have taken note of Burkina Faso with about 12,000 something military strength. Even Niger, the country in the eye of the storm, is having military strength of about 30,000. So put together, Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso military is not up to 100,000. And Nigeria alone is boasting of 230,000 active military force. We have not yet talked about other ECOWAS members. In event of a possible military action, do you think Niger will last 1 week?
Militarily,
yes.
The terrain in Niger is difficult. If you don't understand that terrain, you can lose more than 100,000 soldiers in just in a second. That is the truth. And ECOWAS must understand that that is the truth. Niger is how many times bigger than Nigeria? So how do you know the terrain? These guys knows the terrain. They know what to do. And General Tierney himself came out to say that to tell the whole world that it is not going to be easy walk on the park. He said it. He said, I repeat, he said it's not going to be an easy walk on the park. So I want you to understand that they might be looking at it saying Niger, they will overrun Niger at the end of the day. You understand? When at the heat of this war, so to say, if they finally go, Nigeria will be destabilized.
No, this is not a Nigerian thing.
No, it's not a Nigerian thing now. Look at you don't understand the consequences, the effect of what is coming that is going to affect Nigeria. Definitely it will affect.
We are looking at ECOWAS as a bloc.
ECOWAS,
Nigeria will only provide the leadership.
That's what I'm saying. It's not only Nigeria. Are you not the one that mentioned 200 and something thousand military standby force from Nigeria?
That's our own military strength.
It's commitment. Other countries
we can volunteer to contribute 50,000.
Funding too, equipment too, and this
not only that this military is one of the poorest nations in the world.
It does not mean they can become anything overnight. Yes, things can be turned around anytime. It's not a matter of magic. Are you telling me they stand alone? They cannot stand alone. They have allies too.
Are you talking about Wagner?
I don't know about. I'm telling you, they have allies too. They have people who are sympathizing with the situation.
And they will mention two of their allies who cannot boast of up to.
Let me tell you, if in this country you are looking at, do you know that they can enter a possible deal with Germany overnight? And
Germany is a natural ally of France and United States of America.
It's a matter of interest. Italy is there. Italy is not supporting the war. AU itself is not supporting the war. So how? And you think the interest will not be divided? This is just a regional bloc.
I want you to advise.
This is just a regional bloc organization who are just doing like this. The AU, in its powers and authority, can decide to do otherwise.
I want you to advise the military juntas to reduce their stay in office. Don't you think it's too much? At least they didn't contest election. Why should somebody who did not contest election want to stay in office as much as somebody who contested and won an election?
Because the level of damage, it takes time to build.
And they don't have administrative acumen.
Oh, they have personnel now. As I'm talking to you, the person who is in charge now as the prime minister is not a military man. So what are you talking about?
Okay, can he do it alone?
He has others. Are you not seeing people who are also preparing?
Okay, what is the role of the military? They will be using the cane to put him in order or what?
Yes, the role of the military in that regard is this. Is one, they will provide security. Two, they will provide the atmosphere for a better society. Three, they will make sure that the right people are being put in place. Four, they will negotiate some deals that have been entered by previous administration that has not been able to bring any fruitful dividend to the people of Niger. And then maybe from there, things will just cushion and a fresh society will emerge. That's the angle I'm looking at it, and I think that's what General Tierney is prepared to do, and he's doing it already.
I think that is a good place to let it go, but we are not praying for war, because I don't think war is good in our sub-region, and we believe that life is sacrosanct, and that life that we cannot create is not the one you waste when it's
Another one into the ECOWAS is that he has already told you people that it is not going to be a easy walk on the park. They should take note
I
of
think
that.
the world have heard that, but I'm trying to make the world understand that we are not interested in war in this part of the world. We believe that dialogue, diplomacy is the way to go. And to ECOWAS, to the military juntas, I think they should all come together and give peace a chance. Because we understand that even if this whole issue would linger for 1 year, 2 years in the battlefield, it will still end on the round table. So why don't we embrace that round table now and avert monumental waste of lives and property? So thank you, Mr. Chinedu Michael.
Thank you.
If you are new to this program, this MB Media Affairs, kindly like, share, and please do not forget to hit the notification bell. Thank you very much.